Hello again. Welcome back to my Autism and Me series. Today I'm going to be talking about what the spectrum in autism spectrum disorder means. For most people, when they think of autism, they think of something that looks like this. This is because most of the terminology used to describe autistic people is either high functioning or low functioning. For example, some people would consider someone who is nonverbal a very low-functioning autistic person, whereas someone who has good speech, like I do, would be a high-functioning autistic person. And today I want to kind of challenge that and give you a different way of looking at it instead of just a one end to the other type deal. While this viewpoint does seem a bit straightforward at first glance, I want to explain a little bit of why it actually is quite problematic for those of us on the spectrum. These kind of low functioning and high functioning labels are so problematic because it really creates a better or worse kind of mentality rather than a let's understand each individual case kind of idea. Just like people with physical disabilities, people with autism come in many different shapes, colors, and sizes. And limiting them to a simple high or low functioning category really is an insult to the many facets of what it is to be autistic. So instead of something like this, which is very linear, we should start to look at it as something more like this, which is many different variations and many different ways that it can present itself. A very good way to illustrate this is to imagine autistic people as ice cream sundaes. Not only do we have our own personalities, which would be the ice cream, and you can be many different flavors, many different portion sizes, our autistic traits can be like the different toppings. One sundae might only have one topping, while another has 6 different toppings. And while there are so many different combinations of flavors and toppings, they are all ice cream sundaes. And in just the same way, while so many people with autism spectrum disorders may present in so many different ways, we are still all autistic. So when you think of someone who's on the autism spectrum, don't think about whether or not a person is high or low functioning. Think about what are the traits that make them them. Or if you yourself are on the spectrum and you think of your abilities, don't think about whether or not you are high or low functioning. Think about what are the traits that make you, you. Some of those things might be your own personality, some of those things might be from autism. But at the end of the day, you are who you are, and that's okay. And for those of you who meet people who are on the spectrum, please keep this in mind. If you have met an autistic person, then you have met one autistic person. We are all different. We come in all different shapes and sizes, and we are all equally deserving of your love, patience, and acceptance. So remember, it's not anything like this. It's much more like this. Thank you very much for watching this week's Autism and Me video. If you would like to follow along with this series or any other videos that I make on my channel, please feel free to subscribe. And if you would like to watch any other videos that I made in this series, there will be a link to a playlist in the description below this video. But that's all I have to share with you for this week. So until next time, please take care of yourself and have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!